So I've had this Yap session planned, at least in my mind, for a couple weeks now. But today I got the sign from the universe that I needed, that now is the perfect time to put this out. Because as I was on YouTube earlier this afternoon at work, I saw a video from Nerfpool. I'm sure you guys are familiar. Just talking about how tanks get less ranked points in ranked matches. And that, like, I already had enough points, right? Usually when I do these Yap sessions, I try to make little, like I have a little notepad or like, you know, a little Google Notes doc that I just put like point form notes in so I can stay on track. And so when I saw his video, I was like, wow, that, I'm gonna just add that to the list of notes in here. And so yeah, that really just it lit the fire under my ass, as I believe what the saying is. It lit a fire under my ass to get this recorded because, whew, being a tank in Marvel Rivals is hard sometimes, y'all. Or being a tank main in Marvel Rivals is hard. Like, it feels like the game hates you from every possible angle the game can hate you at. Like, from the developer side, it feels like they don't love you. From the player side, they definitely don't love you. From the algorithm side, now that I've watched Nerfpool's video, the algorithm doesn't even like you. How am I playing a game where the algorithm of the game don't even like me either? It's crazy. It's like that freaking meme from that anime. I'm not even sure. Is it Hunter? No, is it? Y'all know the meme. I'm gonna put it in here anyways. But it's freaking ridiculous. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure there's people that's gonna agree with a lot of things I say here today, and y'all are probably gonna rebut me, and that's cool. That's fine. Y'all can drop your rebuttals or your agreements in the comments, right? I don't really make these Yap sessions to sway people one way or another. I just make them so I can drop my own personal opinions, and y'all can take it, leave it, rebut it. I don't care what you do with it. But yeah, we're gonna start with why NetEase hates tanks, right? So first of all, I think it's pretty obvious, you know, number of tanks. The amount of tanks we have is pitiful, and that's not, you know, specific to the tanks. Obviously, you know, we have pretty shitty roster of strategists, and the DPS is the love child of the game. Now, NetEase obviously has addressed that, said they're gonna try to work on things and fix that next year. But it's just like the beginning of the hate that I feel coming from NetEase. You know, it's just like the tanks. Not that many already, and then the tanks that they have added don't really feel that impactful to the meta. The only one that they've added 3 tanks since the game started. The only tank that they've added that feels like it's actually had an impact on the game and the meta is Emma. Like, Thing came out. Thing looked so fun, and he sounded so fun on paper. I remember when I found out he was immune to CC, I was like, oh, that's great. I freaking hate getting pulled and pushed around the map as a freaking tank. Honestly, Thing is so easy to just blow up every single time. He's like probably the least threatening tank out of the entire freaking roster, okay? Then you have Angela, who again, she seemed so fun and so useful on paper, the game's first flying tanks. One of the biggest issues tanks have is that they can't hit flyers. Flyers are essentially just gods if you're playing tank. So, you know, we had a flying tank coming, and a lot of tank mains were excited. But she came, and she didn't really make an impact. It didn't really feel like she did much. I don't see her being a threat very often in games either. And it's just like, what's going on, NetEase? What's going on? We need a little bit of we need some love. Like, besides Emma, we really have not gotten a tank with a lot of oomph in their scoomph. So we just need some more oomph in our scoomph, NetEase. We need y'all to pull your shit together for the tanks, because we are drowning out here. Ah, shit. I don't know if I said this already in the 23 minutes of audio that I have recorded here. If I didn't say this, I had meant to mention this somewhere in this Yap session. I know there's probably somebody out there right now commenting, oh, you think they hate tanks, but they just gave tanks an amazing buffs this season. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. They did give tanks an amazing buff this season. Well, not amazing, but they gave us some good buffs. They gave Penny her healing webs for her whole team, which is amazing. They gave Cap his 30% healing. Yeah, they did give the tanks really good buffs this season. But that was just this season. It just happened this season. And the reason I think that happened is because they are finally realizing that tanks have the hardest time doing what we're supposed to do in this game because they've overtuned everything up to 1,000%. So they have to give us now they have to fix it and give tanks crazy new buffs, like giving Mag 2 bubbles, making Penny's webs heal her team and her, which on paper, it didn't sound like a lot, because when you play Penny, that 15 per second healing boost is garbage. You have 900 hit points. You know how long it's going to take me to get healed up from like 100 to 900 with 15 healing every second? It's not that noticeable when you're playing Penny, but when you're playing on a DPS hero and you're standing on Penny's web, it's pretty nice, I'm not going to lie to you. But we did get good buffs this season, and I think we need more. I think they need to continue these buffs that they're doing for the tanks, and they need to give us more love. But yeah, I think I wanted to say that. I already recorded the video. This is me recording after the fact because I think I forgot that. I have that on my notes here, but it's anyways, yeah. Let me get back to whatever I'm talking about. I don't know where I'm going to cut this in. Editing Jamal figured it out. Back to past me from a couple minutes ago. And as for that nerf pool video that I had briefly mentioned at the beginning of this video, basically I'm gonna give y'all like the TLDR of what he kind of said in the first half of that video, because I want y'all to go watch the rest of it. It's a good video, it really is. He actually breaks shit down with numbers and shit, you know what I mean, with sense and logic. I'm gonna just be talking on my ass because it's a yap session. That's what I do here. Basically, tanks get less rank points in ranked games because there really isn't a good way to like numerically that is the right, there's no way to quantify in numbers how how well a tank is playing in game, right? Because DPS, pretty easy. You take did you do a lot of damage? Did you get a lot of kills? How many of those kills were final hits, you know? Same goes for healers, right? Did you heal a lot? How many assists do you have? How little deaths do you have, type of thing. But with a tank, you can't really go off of numbers like that because the value that a tank provides to the team is a lot less of like a mathematical equation and more of a science art type of thing, right? For example, if I'm on Penny and I have one off angle locked the hell down to the point where the enemy team has to come down main, and now because they're all running down main because the off angle has been locked off by my mines and by my nests, so now the rest of my team can focus down main and shoot down main while I have the off angle locked off for like half of the game, forcing their flankers to come up main, which is obviously not what a flanker wants to do. And you might be thinking, okay, we'll just go off of damage blocked. But that doesn't really apply to every single tank the same. Like, for example, every DPS hero wants to do damage, and every healing or every strategist hero wants to do healing. Like, yeah, you could do damage with your strategist, but you know, your main thing that you want to be doing on that role is healing. Now with a tank, sure, you want to block damage, but if we just started using damage blocked to kind of determine how much rank points that a tank would get at the end of a match, tanks like Magneto or Doctor Strange or Emma, maybe even Cap, like tanks with shield tanks basically would get so much more ranked points than off tanks like Thor. Thor doesn't really sit there and soak up damage like that. Like, yeah, of course he can soak up more damage than the DPS and the strategists, but he's not going to be soaking up damage like a Mag or like a Strange is going to be doing, or hell, like even a Venom, because he can soak up crazy amounts of damage. So it would disproportionately affect some tanks more than others, which is why damage blocked is really not that good of an indicator to go off. And then the other reason why going off of damage blocked isn't necessarily the best way to judge a tank's effectiveness in a game is because there's been matches when I've been on Invisible Woman and I have like 20,000 damage blocked just because of my shield alone. So damage blocked and tanks doesn't equal, you know what I mean? It doesn't really tell you the proper story of how much that tank contributed to the match. So yeah, even the algorithm in this game hates me And if you don't believe me, I cannot stress enough how much you should go watch that Nerdpool video, because he does a way better job than me. I basically just explained like the first 2 minutes of his video. I think it was like a 16-minute video. So at this point, we have basically discussed the fact that NetEase hates tanks, okay? The algorithm hates tanks, okay? What's left is the players, and the players, they fucking loathe tanks, okay? Players fucking hate tanks in this game. First of all, nobody ever wants to play tanks because NetEase, going back to NetEase here, have given us so little options when playing tanks that people either only think that certain tanks are viable, or people just find certain tanks boring or just very repetitive gameplay, so they don't want to play tank. Tank is also a very stressful role to play. You are essentially, all eyes are on you when you're playing tank. Everybody on both teams is looking at you. Your healers are looking at you to keep you alive. Your DPS are looking at you to make space, and then using how much space you have taken or have not taken to decide, should I use my ult, should I use this ability, should I go on the flank now? Like, everyone is watching you on your team. And then the enemy team, everyone's looking at you because you're in front of your whole team. You are the one barrier protecting the rest of the squishy meat behind you, and everybody wants to get to that meat. You are essentially the turtle shell, and the enemy team are sharks trying to get through that shell. So everybody on the enemy team is looking at you and trying to blow you up. And all of my fellow tank mains know the feeling when you go against a team. Like, I don't know, this doesn't happen all the time, but it happens regularly. Some enemy teams must all be on comps or something. Some enemy teams must all be on comms because they will like focus fire you, like every single person on the team. There have been times when I swear to God, I have like 4 people on the enemy team just focus firing me, and I'm not like overextended. I'm with my team, and they're legitimately purposely focusing on me the whole freaking time so that they can get rid of the tank and then just move on to that squishy good turtle meat on the inside. And I want to tell you, if you've never played tank or don't play tank often, nothing is more stressful when you are getting shot from quite literally everywhere. You're getting shot down main, you're getting shot from an off angle, and then you're getting shot from the sky, because nobody knows how to look up in this game. And as I just said earlier at some point in this video, tanks have no anti-air pressure, so we're fucking screwed, okay? So yeah, nobody wants to play tank because it's a hard role, there's not very many options, and the options that we do have are very limited in what they can and can't do. But then on top of that, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but a lot of the top popular bands end up being tanks, okay? Season 2.5, I'm a Penny main, and Emma almost main. I don't know, Emma, not even flex, but my 2 mains are basically Penny and Emma, and then I started picking up Mag, because in season 2.5, I couldn't play a fucking match without having Penny and or Emma banned. There are some matches where both Penny and Emma were banned, and I'm like, bro, can we play with tanks? Can we have a tank? Can there be tanks in the game? Like, it was ridiculous. And then on top of that, some of the other popular bands are Groot. And if you get high enough, I've never made it to these ranks, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've usually capo at Diamond or Platinum most seasons. But in the higher ranks like GM and Celestial and above, Hulk is a very popular band. I don't know if he still is, but he was for a long time. So it's like some of the most popular bands are tanks. And even though that was only like what 3-4 tanks that I just mentioned here, that's already like half of the tank roster. There's 11 tanks in the game if I remember correctly. And when you have Penny, Emma, Hulk, and Groot, and sometimes Mag, I've seen Magneto get banned in games before his buff. So with his buff now, he probably gets banned more often. So literally half of the tank roster is up for ban picks at any given match. And it really sucks when you play 2 tanks pretty well and both of those tanks get banned, and then you have to play your off tank, your 3rd tank option, not even the 2nd tank, your 3rd tank, and then you're not playing well because you're throwing off your game, your team's yelling at you now, and again, tank is a stressful role to play, okay? the most underappreciated role, I would say, in the game easily. And then finally, I think to wrap this up, I think one of the things that also really kind of grinds my gears when it comes to tanks is that people hate the idea of new tanks. Like, they don't, like, the amount of times I have, like, posted something or made a video or been in some kind of conversation where I was like, oh yeah, Luke Cage would be a fun tank, or Juggernaut, or Colossus. The amount of people that are like, oh, that's so boring, another tank that just punches things? How would you make Colossus any different than the Thing? How is Juggernaut going to feel different than Hulk? Like, bruh. There are, what, 23? 24 DPS in the game? If they could create 24 individual damage dealing heroes and make basically all of them feel pretty unique, and I would argue some of them do have overlap, but generally speaking, all of the DPS in the game have pretty unique hits and feels to them. So if they could make 24 unique DPS up to this point, I feel like even though Colossus and Juggernaut and Luke Cage all punch things, NetEase, I was saying this to somebody in a comment on YouTube actually, NetEase, we look at these characters inside the box from their comic adaptations. Like, we're like, oh, Juggernaut just punches things. Doesn't mean that means he can't be an interesting tank, because so many other tanks punch things, and how would he be different? Yeah, NetEase turned Gambit into a fucking healer. So, and Ultron into a healer. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I don't know what they would do with Juggernaut, but they would probably make him work some way and make him fun. My idea, when I was actually commenting or replying to this person on YouTube, was that Juggernaut, for the people not really into Marvel Comics and stuff, I don't know how many are here, but if you're here, so the entity, the thing that gives Juggernaut his power is called Sidorak. We're not going to go into lore. I'm not really sure if it's a god or demigod or whatever it is. It's a very powerful entity, okay? You may know Sidorak, the name Sidorak, from Magic's team up with Doctor Strange. She has the chains of Sidorak or whatever it's called, which basically she throws at enemies, which chains them to each other, right? So Juggernaut being directly tied to the entity that is the entity called Sidorak, for all we know, NetEase could give him some kind of like chain heavy kit. Well, I don't know, maybe he like slams the ground and then an area around him becomes like chains come up from the ground and like pull enemies towards Juggernaut, or they trap enemies in that chain area for a short amount of time. He could also have an ability where he literally punches, and as he punches, I don't know, maybe he punches so hard that he breaks reality, and his punches create like these like dimensional shields as he punches. And this could be like an ability, it could be a toggle maybe, so like maybe you toggle it and he punches and it makes like a small to medium sized shield, maybe like a circular shield, or maybe even a square shield, I don't know, but a shield maybe around the size of like Emma's shield, right? So he punches once, shield, punch again with the other hand, shield. So like he has like these like little pockets of shield around the map that his allies can obviously use to shield themselves. And like, those are just my dumb off the top theories for what Juggernaut could be in this game, right? NetEase is obviously going to have a team of people working on it. They're going to be working on it for weeks or months or even years, depending on when Juggernaut comes out. And so yeah, just because Juggernaut punches, it doesn't mean he's going to be a Hulk clone. Like, what do people really expect? A lot of the tanks that we're going to get are going to be very big, bulky, bruising individuals. So a lot of them are going to be people that hit things with things, people that hit things with fists, or people that hit things with weapons. And it's really just weird to me that people, the community, players, think that because two tank heroes have similar ways of doing combat in comics, that one, they shouldn't be added, or two, if they are added, they're gonna feel boring. So yeah, that's my little yap session rant for this week. About how Marvel Rivals is just anti-tank. The game is not tank friendly at all, okay? Everybody hates tanks. NetEase hates tanks. The players hate tanks. The algorithm hates tanks. Everybody just hates tanks, alright? Whew. But yeah, anyways. That was gonna do it for this one. Obviously, I don't literally think NetEase hates tanks, and I don't literally think the players hate tanks. The algorithm, though, it might actually hate tanks. Y'all gotta go watch that Nerf pool video. I feel like I sound like a paid promotion, but I'm not. I just really like that video. It was a good video, and it came up at like the perfect time when I was like putting together notes and thinking about recording this video. I was like, wow, that's really ironic. He's talking about this at the same time that I'm considering recording this. Like, I was gonna record this Friday right now. I was probably gonna record it on like Monday or something, but I had some extra time today, so I was like, let me pop this out ASAP Rocky, get it out to y'all. But yeah, y'all let me know down below, how do you feel about tanks? How do you think the state of the tank community is in this game at this point? I personally think that the tanks are suffering, and I think we're hitting a breaking point, because just on my way home from work, I saw another video come up on my feed. I didn't watch it yet, but I saw another game basically talking about the same thing, saying that the game is basically balanced to shit on tanks. I didn't watch the video, so I don't know how that video is gonna go, but I'm gonna watch it after this. And yeah, like I was saying, that's gonna do it for this one. Y'all drop your comments down below. Tell me what you think about the tank meta, anti-meta in the game. And until next time. Oh wait. Subscribe if you like the video. Wow, rusty. If you like the video, go on, click that like button. If you did not, then by all means you can drop a dislike, but I don't know how you made it this far into the video. And if you really like the video, go on and click subscribe to see more of my stupid videos. And until next time, I will catch y'all later.